All right, first of all, welcome everyone. Welcome to our ABCK-AmCham Kuwait Town Hall meeting. For those that don't know who I am, I'm Frank Balonis. I'm the chairman of ABCK. We thank each and every one of you for taking the time to join us today. I would also like to welcome our ambassador to Kuwait, Ambassador Romanowski, and the senior officials of her embassy team. Now, before we get started, we have roughly 120 plus people joining us tonight. So I would ask that everybody please keep your microphones muted throughout this event. During the question and answer period, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, just please type them in and we will get to as many as we possibly can. For those questions we don't get to, we will get back to you when this is all over with. Like most of you, we would much rather be holding this town hall meeting together in person. But due to the current restrictions on gatherings and for your safety, we are required to meet like this. This is just one more example of how we all have to adapt to these unprecedented times. Every single one of us have been affected both personally and professionally. But like all challenges in life, we persevere, we find solutions, we band together, and we overcome. ABCK continues to find creative ways to support you and your business needs by providing webinars focused on these new challenges that we're facing, finding ways to bring our business community together, and by providing relevant information, facilitating knowledge sharing, and providing you a collective voice to both the U.S. and local government on business challenges we all face here in Kuwait. This is all done to support you in this difficult time, but also to help shape a better business environment here in Kuwait and to increase U.S. trade and investment and for you to be part of Kuwait's growth and modernization. Our success derives from the commitment of our executive staff and board of directors, but more importantly, it comes from you, a business family that supports one another, that supports ABCK, and shares a common voice and goal. Like all families, we need to spend time together. And hopefully in the very near future, we can do just that in person. But we'll talk about more of that here later on in tonight's event. Next slide, please. Today, we have a very full agenda discussing what we have done and what we have planned for our near future. We collectively look forward to Kuwait continuing to open back up for business. We look forward to continuing to serve our business interests and challenges of our members. And we look forward to future events such as the 30th anniversary of the liberation of Kuwait. Next slide, please. Our amazing board of directors continue to work hard to make ABCK an invaluable asset to you and to your companies. We've had a few changes on the board since we've all last met. Departing is Mohammed Al-Tahiri, our former vice chairman, and Dr. Abir Al-Amar. We recently elected Pete Swift as our new vice chairman. Alok Chugh graciously continues to serve as our treasurer, and Fred Schwabe is our secretary. Our new members to our board are Dr. Arzu Haraf, CEO of Learn and Evolve, and Aladdin Karim, the country manager for Microsoft. We welcome you all to the board. ABCK is proud to correspond at all levels of the U.S. with the U.S. government on your behalf, but none do more for us than our U.S. Embassy here in Kuwait. We are quite frankly privileged to have an amazing ambassador and embassy team that cares and supports us and our business community. And today we are very honored to have our ambassador, Ambassador Romanowski, here with us. Thank you, Madam Ambassador, for joining us and joining our town hall meeting.
Thank you.
Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Ezra, and thank you, your whole team. I want to give a special thanks to Chairman Frank Balonis and Executive Director Ezra Menke for inviting me to participate in this evening's virtual town hall. I always appreciate the opportunity to connect with the members of AmCham Kuwait, and I kind of feel like I'm creeping into the family structure, as you said, Frank. We've had a lot of chats lately, and I'm very pleased that you've been so forthcoming and so inviting. Since January, I've had the honor, as I said, of speaking with AmCham Kuwait membership at several engagements throughout the COVID crisis. During our conversations, we discussed the importance of establishing and fostering strong relationships between U.S. and Kuwaiti government and among the business communities. And these relationships will be essential ingredients in helping us overcome this period of uncertainty. Next year, we're celebrating 60 years of diplomatic relations between the United States and Kuwait. And historically, our primary areas of cooperation and collaboration include defense, security, energy, and cultural exchanges through education and tourism. So we're looking to build on this very solid foundation as we look out to the future. So for the past 35 years, AmCham Kuwait has played a vital role as the voice of American business community in Kuwait. We encourage, and in fact count on, the organization to provide feedback on short-term challenges and to share insights on long-term issues such as improving the business climate and coming up with and alerting us to new opportunities. So together, we've worked to improve the business environment and increase the overall trade relationship. And the state of the bilateral trade relationship is strong. We saw about $4.5 billion in trade in 2019. And as the emphasis on economic diversification grows in importance, U.S. companies can play a larger role in target industries such as healthcare, telecommunications, IT equipment, and critical infrastructure projects in the energy sector and in Kuwait Airport Terminal 2. We all know that COVID-19 has had an untold impact on the global economy and commercial activities around the world, and Kuwait is no exceptions. And on this topic, we've also relied on AmCham Kuwait to share with us their perspective on COVID's impact on the Kuwait-U.S. business environment and efforts. The U.S. business community is supporting the pandemic response. I want to give you a couple of examples by providing innovative COVID testing applications, knowledge sharing on advanced treatment for ICU cases, and collaborating on vaccine development efforts. And additionally, our commercial section connected American companies to Kuwaiti partners to compete on projects such as education platforms for online learning to meet the educational demands of Kuwaiti students and Kuwaiti families and Kuwaiti schools. Other positive examples in the IT sector is the partnership between the Kuwaiti Integrated Petroleum Company, or KIPIC, and Microsoft to accelerate the digital business strategy and transformation. This agreement includes using business teams to enhance remote workforce telework capabilities in the era of COVID. And I have to tell you, we use Microsoft Teams at the embassy, and it's been a real positive impact on our ability to conduct diplomatic business. While even under COVID, there have been significant market opportunities, but there are still significant market challenges creating obstacles in this business community in Kuwait. The lack of transparency and cumbersome procedures in the government procurement process, difficulties in getting paid in a timely manner, and intellectual property protection concerns remain the top issues. I encourage you to connect with our embassy team to further discuss these important issues, and our conversations with AmCham Kuwait with the business community have been really helpful for us in sorting through some of these issues and how to approach them at the government to government level. But saying all of that, I'd like to take a moment to introduce a new member of our embassy country team, Economic Counselor Patrick Chow. Patrick recently arrived in Kuwait, I think maybe 5-6 weeks ago, if you count his quarantine. He was posted in The Hague, and he, along with our commercial counselor, Sherry Stout, who many of you know, Look forward to engaging with you on economic and commercial challenges and opportunities. So please welcome Patrick as he's energetically reaches out to connect to all of you and get smart on Kuwait business environment and business opportunities. So let me pivot to a new initiative. In August, we started initiating embassy activities to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And over the course of the next few months, we'll be recognizing the historic events leading into the liberation ceremonies in February of 2021. And we have a lot of fun activities and commemorations to roll out, so stay tuned. But I've had the privilege of discussing the embassy's activities with leaders from the National Desert Storm and Desert Shield Memorial. I think you'll hear from them shortly. We applaud the organization's effort to raise awareness on the historic project and identify partners within the business community. We also want to thank the government of Kuwait for their generous support for the project. And we at the embassy will be exploring appropriate ways for us in Kuwait to support these efforts. So let me just close by saying how honored we are to be working with AmCham Kuwait. I personally am committed to working with Frank and the whole AmCham Kuwait membership team on looking for better opportunities and greater opportunities. And I'm counting on all of you to keep the momentum going on critical issues that impact the US and Kuwaiti commercial activity. So I wish you a successful program year. Thank you for inviting me again, and thank you for keeping our embassy country team close to you as a member of the family. So Frank, back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Ambassador. You were part of the family from the very beginning. That's all there is to that. I'd like to take a moment and introduce Mr. C. Freeman. Mr. Freeman is the Vice President of the National Desert Shield Desert Storm Memorial that's going to be coming up here pretty soon in the United States. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Madam Ambassador Romanowski, Ms. Minke, Mr. Balonis, thank you for this platform. We really appreciate it. What I'd like to briefly talk to you about today is what we're doing in Washington, D.C. We're comprised of 8 veteran volunteer board members that are on a mission to build the National Desert Storm and Desert Shield Memorial near the nation's capital on the Mall. We've been at it for 10 years now, and we are pressing forward. We're making great progress. In sake of time, I'll do the Cliff Note version of it, but in 2017, we were 2018, we were approved for our site that is at the intersection of Constitution and 23rd Avenue. That is right, it's about 300 meters from the Lincoln Memorial. So we actually fought for that site. That site was the best spot that we could have in DC, we felt. It was fitting. It was across the street from the, 2 streets over from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, which we are joined at the hip with the Vietnam veterans who are our senior leaders during Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And our mission is to complete this memorial by, we are on a mission to build this by the end of Veterans Day of 2021. So we're on schedule. It is, the mission of the National Desert Storm War Memorial Association is to build the National Desert Storm Memorial, to establish a commemorative work on federal land in District of Columbia, to commemorate and honor those who, as members of the armed forces, served on active duty in support of Operation Desert Storm and Operation Desert Shield. It is a great mission. We're very honored to have the opportunity to make this happen. We're making great strides. We are under not under the gun, but we're trying to raise the money to finish the project. So it is desire that we all want to make this happen in the very near future. It took about 5 years to get where we're at with 2 laws being passed. One being that the Desert Storm and Desert Shield Memorial is worthy of a commemorative place in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding areas. So we got that passed in 2017, and we were moving forward with it. And once we found the site, we had to get another congressional approval on the site being so close to the mall. It had to be worthy of that site, and with a good strong battle and sticking to our guns, we got it. So we received those approvals, and now we're moving forward with it. It started back in 2010 with our president and CEO, Scott Stump, wanted to make sure that this great historical conflict memorial, that, you know, the world needs to always remember what happened 30 years ago. And it felt in his heart that back here in the States that it might end up just being a footnote. And, you know, with him going forward and to start this memorial, it just shows that Americans, the Kuwaitis, have a kinship of the liberation of Kuwait, and we will always remember that. And I was a young soldier back then. I was 20 years old and went over to a country I'd never heard of, to be truthful. So like over 600,000 American soldiers that went over there. 1 million served in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. The coalition comprised of 35 countries, which is unheard of. We do not think it will be accomplished again in our lifetime. So we wanted to commemorate this, and it is fitting, and it is right, and it's just to be right there on close to the National Mall. I always like to point out that we're on hallowed ground. I believe there's over 32 million people visit the mall every year prior to COVID. In particular, about 8 to 9 million, depending on who you get the statistics from, visit the Lincoln Memorial every year. We're just about 300 meters from the Lincoln Memorial. And I always just say that a lot of visitors will be there from all around the world. And what a great honor and distinction to have this memorial there for the world to see of what we accomplished, coming together and making a wrong a right. And Americans did step up to the plate, along with 34 other countries. And it's just fitting that we are right there at Constitution and 23rd Avenue. And if you could advance to page 14, if you could, that's a couple more pages ahead. I'd like to show you the actual site. I think one more. Right there. So if you can see, there's the Lincoln Memorial. Across from there is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And right there is the National Desert Storm and Desert Shield Memorial, right in the corner of 23rd and Constitution. It's a very, very prominent spot in DC, right across the street from the U.S. Institute of Peace. Like I said, millions of visitors will be going there and you know, paying homage to those that sacrificed and gave all that they did for this cause. And it's just a privilege and honor to be here today. And for sake of time, I'd like to open up the floor for any possible questions that I might have missed, or any questions there.
I would like to just point out one thing. They are taking donations, but one interesting fact is that they're going to put a placard at that location also for those those companies or individuals that substantially donated. So that's something to think about when you're looking at all of this. Now, if you have any further questions, or if you would like to speak specifically to this board of directors for this project, we will just contact us and we will provide you information so you can contact them directly. Mr. Freeman, I thank you very, very much for taking the time to speak with us today and sharing all of this. This is going to be a substantial thing, not only for the United States, but also for the state of Kuwait. It's an amazing, amazing gesture and an amazing monument. Thank you very much.
And thank you. And please, Ms. Ambassador, thank the state of Kuwait for their generous pledge of $10 million. So thank you.
Okay, we'd like to move on at this point. Ezra?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very interesting. We would like to call Mr. Rashad Abdullah, who is our chair for the membership committee. He's also the president for Honeywell in Kuwait, Qatar, and Iraq. Yes, Mr. Abdullah.
Yeah, thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Frank. Okay, I think we normally have these town halls all together in a less formal environment, so I'll make it less formal. And I greet you from the comfort of my hotel room in Dubai on my way back to Kuwait. So I'm stuck here for 14 days, but I'll be there next week. Look, this has been definitely a hard time for us all together as businesses, and individuals, but the committee for membership, had at its heart the members all through, and we wanted to make sure that we continue to provide, the benefits and the services throughout that pandemic. Maybe the next slide, Ezra. Or can I do it myself? Yeah, great. So just a quick summary of what we have been doing over the past few months. We've continued to offer the member-to-member benefits, and we've actually added to that and improved this. Lately, we just had a discount on an insurance from one of our chairman club members, GIG. I think these are great benefits that I encourage everyone to look at and utilize to their convenience. We've also been actively trying throughout that pandemic, where networking events are not that easy to do in person. We've been trying to connect members together. I think that Ezra and the team has done brilliantly around that. I know they've haunted me throughout the past month on who do I want to contact, what is required, what is needed. So I thank them for this. I think it's a good reminder for all of us that we have a network that we can rely on in times of crisis as well. We've also recently joined the ABCK-AmCham, and now the members can benefit also from the offerings that the ABCK-AmCham provides. There's a website, maybe Ezra, we can put it on chat, just the link, or we can send it later to the members by email. So you can go in to the website and see what benefits you can get there. It's a wide range of benefits as well. One important thing that we also did is the introduction of a new membership package for SMEs. I think that's an extension of what we as the American Business Council in Kuwait would like to do, is to extend our arm and support small businesses in line with Kuwait 2030 vision as well. This is very important. SMEs are cornerstone of the future economy. I think that's a perfect alignment with that vision. So great work as well here by Ezra and the team in terms of actually getting new members as well into that package in these difficult times. One more important thing is, despite that economic hardship, we were able to get new members on board, and I thank you all for joining us. Any new member is strengthen the community and adds value. We welcomed 3 small enterprises over the past few months, and we've also realizing that some might be having challenges with payments. We've been considerate in that regard, and we've allowed on ad hoc basis some ease of payments and payment plans. Can we move to the next slide, Ezra? Let's quickly. Yeah, I think these are the member-to-member benefits. Really great range. I think hot restaurants are open again, so if you want to take a bite, you can. You get discounts at special restaurants. You have discounts from Cadillac. I don't want to mention them all, but really great things that you can utilize. I use Oxford Business Group a lot. I mean, as a business, I get great insights, great information, and I advise you also to use that. That's a good channel to get information, particularly on the region and in Kuwait. Next slide, please. These, by the way, are available on the website as well if you want to go and check them out. We have really some really good new members in 2020. I'm not going to go and name everyone, but again, welcome on board. We're glad to have you, and I look forward to meeting each one of you in person. And I'm sure the whole board of directors is also very excited to meeting you in person. Next slide, please. Again, a big thank you for the Chairman's Club members. The Chairman's Club does add some additional benefits to the members if you want to be in that part. But I think with the things that we learn from each other from meeting in these special events that we do are enormous benefit. And I really thank you all for the support that you've been providing to the Business Council in different venues and means. Thank you. Next slide, Ezra. Also, big thanks to the corporate members. Again, we haven't had the chance to meet this year, but I know a lot of you, and I really look forward to meeting you again, particularly at the U.S. Embassy events. You know what I mean. Next. Yes, so look, we're gonna talk a lot about benefits, and I think Pete will be talking about the events. I've been on the board now for 2 years, 3 years. This has been great times. I've enjoyed the events. I've built networks. I've used the services that the Business Council provides. And I also want in that stand to thank the U.S. Embassy for all the support they have been providing to the businesses here in Kuwait. An amazing support level that's unequivocal. I mean, I cover other countries and I know what we're talking about. We're very privileged to have a strong embassy team here on the ground supporting us. I want to thank them. And this is something that you can get access to. You can get access to other members as well who can help you on an ad hoc basis as you require. And I think the Business Council has been very active in promoting members, regardless of what level of membership they have within the council. So again, thank you all for joining. I think this is the last slide for myself before I give over to Pete to talk about the events. Thank you. Ezra, next slide. This we discussed, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction, Rashad. And I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight and participating in this program with us. I want to go back to a couple of things that have already been said. Frank said we're a family, and that's right. We're all away from our homes and we're here and we need to take care of each other. And that's how ABCK views the way we do our business, our events. I hope that you've been able to participate in some of the online events that our executive director and her team have been able to put on throughout the pandemic and the rest of the year. We've had an unprecedented number of events. And that's through their hard work and diligence and coordination with the other AmChams throughout the region. And I'd like to say that comes from their commitment. And I have to go back to our chair, our leadership, the way the organization is run and the way it works with them and the rest of us. We all really enjoy what we're doing here and planning events and making things happen. I look forward to it every time that I know we're able to gather or I am able to get on an online event. But I'll move forward and look at some of the highlights, the events that our team has been able to plan since the pandemic started. Just a few points to highlight. I won't go over it all. If you ever want to see what's going on, visit our website or any of our social media platforms. Changes in the Kuwait laws financial support for businesses, supply chain logistics, working remotely, doing business with the U.S. military, cybersecurity, and many more events. There was something every week. So please check your emails from our team and make sure that you're able to stay up to date on the events. We're anxiously awaiting the Kuwait open up and allow us to have events in person. Once we're able to move forward, we will implement the necessary safety measures, and we'll be able to greet each other and enjoy ourselves again. Some upcoming events that will happen, we have September the 24th, we have Webinar Expo Dubai 2020. That's a big one. Everyone's been talking about that for a really long time. October the 13th, we're going to have a speed networking event for businesses. October the 29th, how to do business with the U.S. military. And the biggest event, and this goes back to Rashad's point, it's an embassy event. Our Thanksgiving dinner will be incorporated with our gala event, which had to slide right due to COVID-19. Now, everything is contingent on what the Kuwait government allows us to do as far as gathering. But if we aren't able to meet, we'll still continue to have events online. We'll continue to keep our membership updated by sending emails and on our social media platforms. So if there's something that you're interested in seeing, please email us at communications@abckw.org. Now, I cut a little bit of it short. I didn't go over all the upcoming events. Please just stay abreast of your emails and check our websites and come out and join us and see what you're missing out on. I want to say one more thing before I introduce the crowd. I'm often asked, if I join ABCK, what can it do for me? Actually, the question should be, what do you need help with? We may not be able to solve your problem. We work to get you an audience with the people that actually can, or to make that connection so you can do business with someone in the same field or a partner that you might need. So please participate, and thank you. I'll introduce Kamal. He's the U.S. Kuwait Liaison Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Pete. Good evening, all. I'm happy to be a part of this meeting. This is my first time since Del Monte has joined for the first time this year, ABCK. We are pleased to meet lots of people and expand our networking as well. I'm going to start on the liaison committee. Under this committee, we will share with you the following updates. ABCK participated in various discussions with U.S. Chamber of Commerce, sharing updates on the situation in Kuwait during the year and in particular during the lockdown period as well. We organized a roundtable of Chairman's Club members with the Ambassador, Ms. Romanowski, to discuss various related topics and updates on all aspects of current business challenges. We attended U.S. Kuwait Council strategic planning session as well. We also submitted a white paper to Kuwaiti government and the U.S. Embassy outlining business environment and member company business challenges during this year, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic period. In addition to the above, ABCK participated in roundtable discussion with the U.S. Undersecretary of State, where we pointed out and explained challenges of American businesses in Kuwait. One last activity that took place during last month was completing a capacity building workshop conducted by US Chamber and AmCham MENA. Our plan is to continue to be active during this tough times and current challenges, to share and explain and try to solve issues or explain what we are as American companies facing to conduct proper business in Kuwait that meets each one's company strategy and standards of how business are being done. Thank you very much. I should head the microphone to Ezra.
Yeah, thank you, Akram. That was very insightful. And I would like to thank you, everyone today who joined us virtually. And it was great really connecting with you and seeing some of the familiar faces as well as the new faces. And just to wrap up all our board members talked about over the past half an hour, if you see American Business Council in numbers, we have actually reached 500 plus members, and we have 14 companies participating in our member-to-member program today. We have conducted ourselves 33 events since January and webinars, and also participated in various government engagements in Kuwait and in the US, just to for advocacy on your behalf, of course. And if you're not currently a member, I would encourage you to become a member. And for the reasons that our membership chair outlined, we connect businesses to one another, and we advocate for our member companies in front of the US and the Kuwaiti government officials, and we promote our members to our network for their services, products, and initiatives. So if you have any questions, if you would like to explore this further, please feel free to contact me directly or our membership manager, Ms. Paula De La Roche, at membership@abckw.org. And thank you again for everyone who joined us today. Thank you to our members for all your tremendous support. And please also connect with us on social media if you haven't done that yet. And here's the social media information. And I'd like to now continue with the questions that we have received from you previously, prior to this town hall. So the couple of questions are actually related to visa issues, and we're very fortunate to have Mr. Harvey Beasley here with us, who is the visa counselor at the U.S. Embassy. So he's the top guy who is in a position to answer all these questions. Let me start with these questions. So one of our members asked, when does Kuwait expect to issue commercial visas for new employees? And he points out the fact that he's got 8 American openings and he cannot fill these openings.
Hi everybody, this is Harvey. I'm the American Citizen Services Chief at the Embassy.
I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
it's okay. We're also one big happy family, so we cover each other.
Thank you.
And I can also answer these questions. Yeah, we're very keen on any issues that affect the American citizen community in Kuwait, and this is one of them. We have engaged the Kuwaiti government on the visa issue, but they have yet to indicate when they'll begin to issue visas on arrival again. Well, we're going to continue working on this issue as it is indeed affecting lots of folks, but right now that's the only information that
Okay, thank you, Harvey. The other question was, what are the specific requirements for American nationals with visa 18s that are 60 years of age and have degrees? How do they document such in order to maintain residency? Do they need to provide a diploma to the sponsor? And if yes, does this diploma need to be attested?
Yes, for this, for the specific details, we would encourage companies to engage directly with PAM to get the actual requirements. But the current practice appears to be that the authorities are going to want to see an attested degree. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the process they have to go through to get a degree that was issued in the United States attested. It's a long process that unfortunately begins in the United States. Details on that are available on our website under the Notary Services section of the website. If you take a look at that and still have some questions, feel free to email us at kuwaitacs@state.gov, and we're happy to respond to your specific situation.
Thank you. Thank you. And another question comes from the membership again. For the lack of person-to-person communication among members, what would be the best way to keep connected with ABCK community? But I would like to answer this question. We have been quite active over the past few months while we were all sitting at home and not doing nothing, but doing a lot of things. So we have arranged all kinds of webinars and talks on a virtual environment, and we'll continue to do so until such time comes when we can meet in person again. So in October, on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken, I think 13th or 15th, yes, I will confirm that. Please confirm. I think 13th, yeah. We are having a speed networking event. So this is going to be for specifically for people who are working in certain industries that want to get together and exchange ideas and learn each other's businesses. So we believe this is going to be of great help to the membership, and we are thinking of continuing these kind of engagements online until, again, when we can see each other in a safe environment. Of course, we all look forward to getting back to a normal, so-called normal, and with in-person events, and we're just waiting a go-ahead from the government, and we will make sure that we will return back with a fantastic event. So please continue following us on social media and watch out our emails, because we really try to communicate you most important messages by emails. Okay, another question comes from the Chairman's Club membership. Our Chairman's Club membership, one member believes that they have not benefited or received the interest, the level of interest that that was offered previously. So, and they're wondering how ABCK can provide more benefits throughout the year. So I'm gonna kindly ask our chair for the membership committee to address this question, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ezra, and that's actually a great question. And you know, before I get into the nitty details, let me just go back to the basics. We are a business community, right? And as a American business community, we have members that are joining for a purpose. We have a vision and we have a mission here as a business community in Kuwait. And it's always good to go a little bit one level up to just remember some of like 2 critical objectives that we have as part of this council or as part of this community. One of it is for the benefit of all of us. we really want a better business environment in Kuwait. So this is like one critical objective as a business community that we want to achieve, is to have and improve the business environment in Kuwait so we can all do business in a better way and grow our businesses. And the second one is, how can we grow the trade volume between US and Kuwait? And this is also important. It's not only growing our businesses in Kuwait, it is also growing, the investments of Kuwaiti companies in US, for example. So these are two critical objectives. And on the first one, on improving business environment, I think during this year, with the help of the embassy and the Strategic Business Council that was set up earlier this year in US, we've done great progress. I know that we've released a survey to all the companies to provide us with the challenges they're facing in Kuwait, and we've channeled that back to the embassy and that was discussed also on the Strategic Business Dialogue. Just a few weeks back, we had a discussion with Deputy Secretary Shanker, who was here in Kuwait, and we voiced the same concerns to him. So there's a lot of work happening on the background with the support of the embassy to channel all the concerns the businesses have in Kuwait around the challenges they are facing and to try to address these. So this is one aspect. On the other aspect about growing business in Kuwait, particularly for our members, there are three things critical to do that. The first one is the networking aspect. So on the networking aspect, we're doing the events, and I think that gives the ability for us to interact with each other and to know each other on a personal level, because we believe that as a community, you reach out to fellow members to help you in case you need any support or you have any business dealing you want to do. We encourage members among each other to interact on a business level as well. So these networking events help, and I know that we haven't been able to do that face to face, but there has been online events that I encourage everyone to take part in, as well as you, Ezra, and the team has, and I mentioned that before, we've been trying to connect companies together as part of this. The other critical part of growing the business or growing the trade volume is the information. Right? Information is key. I mean, and that relates to the business environment, the trends in Kuwait, what sectors are growing, where are the opportunities. And we have the focus groups that actually, dwell into these and provide really good business intelligence. And this information is available for the members, and the members can participate in these focus groups. We've also have, in the events, and I know during the COVID situation, there was one event which I benefited a lot from, which is regarding the legal constraints around rents, etc. And taxes. So this was very important because it helped me draw some savings in my company, for example. I mean, there is a lot of information that you can get out of the focus groups, out of the events, out of talking to other members that will help you in taking better business decisions within your company. And the third one is, of course, the support. And this support that we provide to our members, whether through engaging with them directly, opening doors, or getting them to connect to each other, or even to help SMEs in startups in US or in Kuwait, or working with the embassy closer if they have a specific issue or a problem. These are all support that is available for our members. Now, you're gonna ask me, so what does this mean? So the benefit is of how you can utilize these services. I mean, I hate to patronize, but if you're not utilizing these services, you're not gonna benefit. This is the services that as a business community, we're trying to provide to each other, and we're trying to provide to the members, and they are available and they come as part of your membership on this community. But you need to utilize them, you need to be active, you need to draw yourself into it and reach out whenever you need help and support, and that's something that people well done. Now I can talk about all the other benefits that we provide, and we discussed that before, but I think this is the critical, these are the critical services that I, as Honeywell, for example, I'm gonna go back and out of my role as the, chairman for the membership committee. That's why I'm on this council. I am on that council. I'm part of the American Business Council because I see value in the services that this council provides, and I use it to help grow my business. I use it to get information so I can direct my business in the right way. And I encourage everyone to do the same. I hope this addressed the question.
Thank you. That was great. Now, a couple more questions from the membership. One of our members asks, they'd like to know online business, if there's online business help for the situation during COVID, like something to help more businesses create revenues in terms of advice, etc. So
I'll go ahead and take this one, Ezra. One of the things that's been interesting is that, over the summer period of time, over the last many years, ABCK usually does very little for those summer months because that's when everybody goes on vacation. This year, they've done an equivalent of over a year's worth of events in just the last few months. And the reason why is to address this specific issue. These events have all been tailored to address the challenges that we face as businesses and as individuals with the events that are going on during this COVID pandemic. And there's many different things along those lines that they've covered, which were already discussed. So that's one aspect to that, the answer to that question. And there's more to follow on that. There's a lot more events coming up in the near future. The networkings and all of this. This helps your business, whether it's being more successful, identifying new opportunities, or networking with those companies that are equivalent to you. Another, and speaking of networking, is the Future Networking event, and that's just one more example. We help businesses connect with each other, which has been spoken already. And when we talk about the Chairman's Club, obviously we do a little bit more for the Chairman's Club. And when we have senior dignitaries, so on and so forth, visit, they're the ones that when we have a limited audience, the ones that get a hold. So that's another advantage and benefit to all that. But things that we are continuing to do to help you during this COVID. But we're also doing other things like providing you the opportunity to connect and get relevant information and answers for your problems from things such as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, from the AmCham MENA network of councils that are all throughout the Middle East and globally, quite frankly. So there's a lot of different things that we can do for you, and we are doing for you, and we will continue to do for you throughout this pandemic, but also beyond this pandemic. Hopefully that helped. Ezra?
Well, thank you. That helped me. Thank you. Well, I think Patrick Chow from the embassy would like to say a few things. Please, Patrick.
Thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Frank. First of all, on behalf of the ambassador, I want to thank you all for allowing me to join. I've arrived on August 20th. And I want to give you a little background on where I've served so that I can give you a context as to what I'm seeing here. I served in Beijing twice, and I was an economic officer in both cases. The first time was in the mid-90s as a young officer, and we had a fantastic relationship with the AmCham Beijing and the economic section and the foreign commercial section. It was so good that the quarterly events were packed. Now, what Rashad said, 2 goals, policy-wide, that we can work on, that Sherry and I can help you with, is providing a better business environment. That's one of our goals. I was with the ambassador in 2 meetings, one at Kadipa, one at U.S. Customs. She hit that one right in there. The first 5 minutes, she said, I want that. We want to help our businesses. Just a better business environment for not only the U.S. businesses, but in whole. Of course, U.S. businesses will be leading the way. Number 2 point Rashad said is, how can we grow the trade volume between U.S. and Kuwait? That's policy. Trade and investment policy. These are policy things that we in the State Department, that we work with U.S. Trade Representative Office, with Treasury, we can work on that. So here's how I think we always do with AmChams around the world, but specifically in this context with a good ally. besides the strategic and business dialogue, there are current issues that you as businesses find difficult to raise with the government, sensitive issues, or things that you don't want to one-on-one take up with the government. Bring it to us as a group, AmCham, and I'll just say US businesses have told us that's our job. Our job is to carry the water for you, to understand the issue specifically, to see what the Kuwaiti government is saying, but where it's not really implementing well, we can have those honest discussions. And they will give us answers. Then we will feed it back to you. And we owe that to you. So I would like to suggest, if it hasn't happened in the past, I'm so new here, just came out of quarantine, so I've got a lot of good ideas. You know, anything to get me out of an apartment and into this heat, you know, whatever I can do here, is quarterly. I would like to first introduce, in our first thing, bring our whole economics section to the AmCham and introduce ourselves, what portfolios we do, what our background is, what we like to cover. One, to help us understand what issues you see. Number two, to inform Washington and us in the embassy, what are the key issues that we need to focus on? And then every quarter, if you want, or if you want it more frequently, to focus on a topic, and then we'll come and we'll brief about the US policy on this. Sherry, of course, will be with us side by side, talking about what certain cases that she's noticed among companies without mentioning their names, and what we would like to present together. Finally, we elevate it to the ambassador. If we think it's close, if you can push it over, and she can do that, who we should talk to, how we should manipulate the situation so that you all get that. The key point is we're only as good as our network. You all know that. Our information only as good as our network. So the network that we have here will be growing as they know that they will get firsthand Chatham House rules, what's coming on from the business. And we can tell you firsthand, this is difficult, this is not easy, this is what we're talking about. If you want, we can get our political counselor to come and brief about the upcoming elections, the implications of who the minister is. This is stuff we can do in an open setting that we should and we ought to share with our business community. Because while we're competing against other countries, most importantly, I saw this very effectively in China where it was not so obvious what was going on. So information is a premium. We need to share that. And you're right, exchange this information in a very trustful way, but we want to help you. Having served in China twice and also in Japan as well in Osaka, you know, businesses are at the forefront of our diplomacy, our economic diplomacy, our business diplomacy. You represent us in places that we can't go to. Their interactions with you help build the trade, development, commerce. And I have been privileged in my tours in the Foreign Service to always have great opportunities and relationships with AmCham members. And I hope to continue that here. I hope to take and model what we've seen successfully in Beijing. For instance, we would have governors or any US government officials, one of their stops would be to visit AmCham. A governor or someone from the US where you can tell them what it's like here, what your policy issues are. And that would be educating our government, putting you on the map. So when you go back to Washington and you visit with the Chamber of Commerce, you got a few senators or congressmen to visit, that's it. You're hooked. All right. And I think that's what we can do for you too. So I'll leave it at that. And I'd like Sherry to join in if she can to add up to that. But I'm very happy to be here. And as the ambassador said, I'm extremely energetic about this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, really. It was very encouraging. We look forward to working closely with you. And welcome. Sherry?
Hi, Ezra. Hi, everybody. Thank you. I'll just echo what Patrick said, and thank you very much for those remarks as well, Patrick. So yes, I think that moving forward, there will be some opportunities for us to engage with both the economic and political section as well. So we look forward to making the arrangements to making that happen. As things start to open up here in Kuwait, I think that there will be some additional opportunities with events and visitors coming through. And as you know, some of these come up very last minute. So we thank you in advance for your support on that as well. And just as both the ambassador and Patrick mentioned, we stand by at the embassy ready to help you, okay? You have our contact information. If you do not, contact Ezra Frank. They certainly have it, and we'll be more than happy to address any company-specific issues that you have. Right now, we're certainly doing virtual meetings more prominently, but we're also happy to have those conversations in whatever format you feel comfortable. So please don't hesitate to reach out. We stand by here ready to support you. And we look forward to working with you in a very successful year for AmCham in the year to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherry. Really appreciate it. Well, I think we're running out of time here, and I'd like to ask Frank for his closing remarks, and I would like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you again, and hope to see you very soon.
Thank you, Ezra. Patrick, I look forward to sitting down with you. Welcome to Kuwait. I know that, I mean, Sherry's part of our board, so we have a very close relationship with the embassy. And I look forward to not only just sitting down with you, but mapping out how we're going to make some of those things happen for our membership that you just talked about.
I look forward to it, Frank. I very much look forward to it. Okay, good.
For all of you that have questions or didn't get your questions answered, as I said earlier, please feel free to contact us directly or contact the embassy if it's related to them, and we will all get back to you. Please follow us on social media and our social media platforms as we talked about, but also please like and share. There's a lot of people out there that don't know anything about us. Help us get the word to them, because there's a lot that we can do for them as well. Please join our future events. Hopefully we'll be doing them in person soon. I know a lot of people out there are a little bit excited about finally getting a golf tournament going. I'm one of them. And I know somebody else out there also mentioned it to me. Thank you, Madam Ambassador, for joining us. And thank you to all the senior embassy staff for everything that you do for us every single day, not just for this event, but everything you always do for us. Thank you, Mr. C. Freeman, the Vice President of the National Desert Shield Desert Storm Memorial. It was an honor having you on board. I look forward to talking with you more in the future. And most importantly, thank you to all of our members and all of you that have joined us tonight for participating in tonight's event. We look forward to seeing you, and I hope it's in person very, very, very soon.